All right, if you're watching this video, it is the literal equations part of the retest review, okay? With literal equations, guys, you're not going to get a value. It's not going to be S equals this or Y equals this. It's going to be an equation, okay? It's going to be a rewritten equation. So we have to understand that when we have multiple variables in a problem, that variable just can't go away unless it somehow subtracts out or adds out, whatever it is, okay? But 9 times out of 10, it will not just go away, okay? So when I'm solving for Y, I need to understand that I'm going to do the same 2 steps always. It is always going to be move X and then divide the number off of Y. Okay, so when I move X, it also happens if there's a constant next to Y. Whatever it is, you've got to move whatever's adding and subtracting to our Y value to the other side. And when you do that, the sign in front changes. So this is going to be a positive 6X on the left-hand side. So when I move it to the other side, it's going to be a negative 6X. Okay, because remember what I'm doing here, right? Like I want 0 X's on the left-hand side. I need to subtract 6X, but what I do on one side, I have to do to the other. So 6X minus 6X is 0. So I'm moving X to the other side. So what I have left is negative 7Y equals 21 minus 6X. Now, a lot of mistakes that I've seen is we forget to put the negative sign with the 7. Like we forget to bring this negative sign down. That negative sign, that subtraction sign belongs to the 7Y. Okay, so we just need to make sure that when we are bringing something down that we didn't use, we are also bringing the sign down with it. Okay, then I need to divide. The reason why I'm dividing is because the number negative 7 and Y are multiplying. And in order to undo multiplication, I must divide. So when I divide everything by the negative 7. So negative 7 divided by negative 7 is a 1Y. 21 divided by negative 7 is a negative 3. And then negative 6 divided by negative 7 is just a positive 6 over 7. So please be reminded that a negative divided by a negative does end up in a positive value. So it will change the value of that X value, okay? All right, so let's do it again here. Again, move X, right? So we're going to move 7X to the other side. So in order to get 7X to be 0 X's, I've got to subtract 7X. But what I do on one side, I have to do to the other. So let it be known that when I move X, that I cannot, again, subtract the 24 and the 7X. Because one has a variable and one is just a constant. Okay, please remember to bring down the sign. So that is a negative 6Y. And then last but not least, our second step and last step is to do division of the coefficients. So I'm just going to divide by negative 6. So negative 6 divided by negative 6 is a 1Y. 24 divided by negative 6 is a negative 4. And then negative 7 divided by negative 6 is a positive 7 over 6. But do not forget to add the X with it or multiply the X with it. So our answer is Y equals negative 4 plus 7 over 6X. All right, so when you're solving for Y, it's the same 2 steps always. Move X, then you divide. Okay, move X, then you divide. All right, let's see how number 3 is different. So number 3 is just asking you, I'm going to rewrite it, but it's just asking you to solve for R. So in order to solve for a variable, when you have nothing but other variables, you have to understand that there is still math going on. All 3 of these are multiplying to each other. So how do I undo multiplication? That means I need to divide. So I can divide off anything I do not want. If I want to solve for R, then I don't want the P or the T. But what I do on one side, I have to do to the other. because when I divide off a P and a T, these both turn into 1. They cancel out. Okay, so our answer is I is divided by P times T, and that'll give you R. So interest divided by principal times time equals R. All right, I hope this helps.